Hey everyone, this is David Pike, the Motorcity Mechanic. Now in today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 reasons why I recommend buying Milwaukee tools. So for those that follow the channel, they already know what I do for a living. Those who don't, I'm an automotive technician. Now I've been doing it for the last 23 to 24 years, both at an independent shop as well as at the dealership level. Now when I first started out, I didn't have a lot of money to spend on tools, which usually meant that what I was buying wasn't going to last long and was bad quality. So as time went by, I ended up thinking about more and more what I was spending my money on. So when I had more money, I was buying quality tools. Now, over a period of time, I came up with 5 things that I looked for when I was purchasing a tool. And this is how it applies to Milwaukee tools. Quality construction. That's one of the biggest things I'm looking for when I'm buying a set of tools. I want something that's going to last longer than 6 months or a year. Preferably, I want it to last forever, but we know in the real world environment that's probably not going to happen. So I want it to last as long as possible for the money I'm spending on it. And that's one thing about the Milwaukee tools. It's all about their construction and the quality of the tool or component. Constant innovation. Now that's basically where a manufacturer is constantly evaluating what they've already got on the market, trying to improve upon it and coming up with something bigger and better. And that's what Milwaukee does a great job at. There's a lot of new tools that they just came out with recently that has never been on the market. And there's other tools that they've had previously that I've used personally, and they've actually modified them and made them even better. For example, look at this 3/8 ratchet. This is the 3/8 cordless ratchet that Milwaukee Tools has had on the market for quite a while now. There's not a single day that goes by that I don't reach for and use this tool. I know its strengths, I know its weaknesses, I know what to use it for and what not to use it for. It's also rated at 35 foot-pounds. Now Milwaukee Tools couldn't leave that well enough alone. So what did they do? They completely redesigned that ratchet and they came up with this. This is their fuel line, which means brushless motor, which equals longer battery life. Not only did they make that change, but they completely redesigned the head of it. So now the output spec for this is 55 foot-pounds. Once again, it's part of that constant innovation. They never stop reevaluating everything and modifying things. They make things bigger, better, and stronger. So with constant innovation, not only do you have tools being modified, but you've also got new tools coming to market. Now Milwaukee Tools launched their under hood light this year. Now something as mechanics is something that we use on a regular basis. You can use it for both under the hood and also for interior work, and plus you can take the light off of its mount and use it for different things. Other things that have never been seen before are the M18 heat gun and also the M12 cordless soldering iron. Both of those things are new to the industry. Now that's part of that constant innovation, how they're always either improving or coming up with something you've never seen before. Interchangeability. Now that's a term that doesn't necessarily apply to tools such as wrenches, pry bars, or screwdrivers. Mainly cordless tools. Because as mechanics, we use a lot of air-operated tools. And as the technology and the equipment has evolved, they are slowly making comparable replacements that are cordless. So when I go to buy a tool, a 1/2-inch impact for example, that's battery operated, I want to make sure that battery doesn't just fit that tool and that tool alone. So I look at that manufacturer of that tool and I look at the lineup of what they have to offer. For example, with Milwaukee Tools, I look at the M18 line and also the M12. I want to make sure that it's something that I can share batteries with and it's a tool that I'm going to be using. Because if there are a lot of different trades such as electricians or plumber tools out there that I can't use, then it's pointless for me to buy a tool in that lineup that I can only use that tool and that tool alone. So I'm looking for things that are specific to my trade. Now, perfect example. I can grab an M12 battery, throw it in a cordless drill, tighten up a few screws. Once I'm done with that, I can throw it in a new 3/8 ratchet, tighten up some bolts. Meanwhile, I'm grabbing my M18 battery, putting it in the mid-torque 1/2-inch, tighten up some lug nuts. When I'm done with that, I can jump over here, get my cordless heat gun, and I can shrink some heat shrink. So I've got all kinds of different options using the 2 different battery platforms. Because one of the biggest things is I'm investing in these tools. So when I buy that first kit that comes with the battery charger, 2 batteries and a tool, and I'm spending $300–400 for, the next time around I don't have to buy another kit. I can just buy a bare tool and I can share one of those batteries and that charger. So in the end, it's actually cost effective to do that. So when you're dealing with the interchangeability, it means a lot. Not only that, with the Milwaukee lineup, if I want to come home with one of my M18 batteries, I can take it out of a 1/2-inch impact and I can slap it into a weed eater. I can use it in a miter saw. I can use it in the other tools that I can use around the house. Now you can't do that with Snap-on, Matco, and Mac. So that's another reason why I went with Milwaukee tools when it came to interchangeability. Trade specific. Now that term can be interpreted in multiple ways. Now the way I look at it is, if I'm investing in tools from a manufacturer, which means I'm buying their stuff, I want to make sure that they're coming out with more and more stuff related to what I'm doing. I'm buying M12 and M18 cordless tools, not only for what I'm using today, but possibly what they're going to be bringing out in the future that I can actually share the batteries with. For example, Milwaukee Tools have launched their line of toolboxes. They've got some that are just as nice quality as some of the big 3 tool truck brands. They've also got, as I mentioned, all the new stuff such as the soldering iron, the heat gun, impacts, cordless ratchets, under hood light, items such as that. So I'm looking for a company that's got my back. They're looking out for my industry. Other brands such as DeWalt, Makita, Ryobi, those manufacturers don't really have what I'm looking for. For example, DeWalt's biggest thing related to mechanics this year was the launch of a 1/2-inch impact. Wow, great. Do you have a 3/8 ratchet? No. Ryobi, do you have a 3/8 ratchet? No. So there's those lines of tools that aren't really specific to what I do. They're focusing more on the other trades such as construction. Now I need something that's going to be there when I really need it. So as a mechanic, I want mechanic related tools. I don't want to have to go buy a cordless drill and put a 3/8 adapter on it so I can use it as an impact. I want a mechanic related impact. I want die grinders for cleaning gasket surfaces. I want under hood lights for under hood lights. I need tools that are for my trade and my trade alone. It's great that they make them for other industries, wonderful, but I need to make sure that they're focusing on what I'm doing. So if I'm spending my money on their stuff, they've got my back. Cost. Now that's one of the biggest factors I think about when I'm buying tools these days. As I mentioned, back in the day when I first started, I'd spend $20 with the hope that that tool would perform like a $100 tool. But usually I was let down and disappointed. It lasts maybe a week or a month's time and then it was broke. So basically I got what I paid for. Now, as time went by and I was able to buy more tools, I noticed what was out there on the market. Now you got the big name trucks such as Snap-on, Matco, and Mac that come by the dealership on a regular basis. They've got wonderful tools. I'm not knocking the tools whatsoever. Great quality, they're gonna last. But the thing is, the price of the tool is extreme. I'm comparing from the low end to the high end. Now the high end, what they're doing is they're giving you a convenience. They're coming to you once a week. So the tools are there, you've got someone to talk to, you're not talking to someone over the phone. If you have a problem, you give it to them, they either replace it or they send it in. So that's what you're paying for, a convenience. Now their tools don't match all the criteria I look for though of the top 5 that I mentioned throughout this video. Now with Milwaukee tools, this is what you get. You get something that meets in the middle, price-wise. You're not lacking on the quality, you're not lacking on the construction. So you're not getting cheap quality and paying good money, you're getting high-end quality and not paying a lot of money. And you can compare the Milwaukee branded tools with Snap-on, Mac, and Matco, and you'll find out that there can be a difference anywhere from $100 to $200 to $300 or more on a similar performing tool. So that's where the biggest difference is. Not only is it matching all the other 4 criteria I mentioned before, but when it comes to price, that's what sums it up for me right there. Milwaukee tools, for their price, gives you professional grade tools and equipment that you would normally have to get off of the tool truck. And that for a DIYer, if I'm buying cheap tools, isn't going to last. You don't have that problem with Milwaukee tools. It covers the entire spectrum and it doesn't hurt your wallet. And like I mentioned before, that interchangeability, initially I may pay $400 or $500 for a high-end tool through Milwaukee tools that comes with the charger and the bigger batteries. But on the next tool I'm buying just the tool alone, and I'm sharing those batteries. So there's that cost right there that you can actually absorb and you don't have to spend and come out of wallet with. So hopefully after watching this video, you're going to think about those 5 key points the next time you go buy a tool. You know from watching all the videos I've put out there that I'm showing you shortcuts so you can save time on doing repairs. I'm showing you how to do your own maintenance, do your own repairs so you can save money. This video about Milwaukee tools is the exact same thing. I'm not trying to cram something down your throat that I don't believe in. These are tools I use every day. As you saw in the video, they're beat up, they get dropped, kicked, abused. Yet they still do what they need to do. I treat it as a tool. I don't baby it. It's not sitting in a plastic case or a bag on a shelf. It's getting used every single day. So think of it as my repair videos. This is me giving you advice on something that I use to help save you money and give you a good quality product. So the next time when your Snap-on half-inch cordless impact breaks, and instead of buying another one, I want you to think twice. I want you to use those 5 key points. I want you to either go ask another tech you know or someone that might have that same impact that's a Milwaukee and try it and see what happens. I promise you, you will not be disappointed and you're going to save a lot of money. So just think about it next time. So if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up on YouTube. Don't forget you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you got any comments, suggestions, or hate mail related to what you saw in today's video, you can leave it in the comments below this, or you can actually email me at david@motorcitymechanic.com. Also, if this is the first time you've watched one of these videos of mine, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and at the same time click that bell icon next to that. That way you get notified instantly when videos such as this get uploaded. Also, if you like to shop on Amazon, please feel free to use the link that's directly below this video in the description. And any purchases that you make will help support this channel. Once again, everybody, thanks for watching.